When it comes to underrated Tyrannosaurs, Ghalta the Primal Hunger and Grymloq of Lustria. Both are criminally underrated when it comes to the categories. The strongest carnosaur versus the strongest dinosaur creature of the material plane. So today we're going to see who wins more often than not. And obviously by the title of this video, it's closer than you think. So be sure to comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. And well, get ready to be educated on how powerful are these two tyrannosaurs, alright? So let's see, who are we starting with today? Matter of fact, let's actually go Ghalta because he is the more underrated one, or at least the newest one to the channel. Considering I already did Carnosaurs and Monster Hunter before, right? And Carnosaur vs. Devil Joe. So yeah, starting off with Ghalta himself, you actually have to look at the rank of the cards, basically the numbers at the bottom here. And Ghalta is dangerously a 12 out of 12. I don't think y'all get that for, like, his tier, for him to be a legendary elder dinosaur. This means he ranks above, like, some of the elder dragons. Like, let's see, I think it was Bolton Prime, or, hold on a minute. Yeah, Boltoth, or Baloth Prime, excuse me. Got that wrong here. Who is a solid 10 out of 10. This also puts him above some of the higher tier elder dragons, mind you, which, if you guys saw my Atarka video, Atarka stumps out Elatrion, by the way. But actually realizing that Magic the Gathering is a part of D&D. Basically, it's the same thing, just with, I guess you could say, cooler steps. And keep in mind, Baldur's Gate is a part of this as well, so definitely got to look into that. And this puts him above, obviously, like I said earlier, Atarka, who's an 8 out of 8. Crazy, right? And then, obviously, Lathis, the Dragon Queen, who is a 6 out of 6. And keep in mind, these are also in the same class as Ghalta, described as legendary creatures. Keep in mind, yes, the type of card is very different as well, because again, you do have like forbidden cards, which are known to be like the highest of the higher ones. But keep in mind, the rules state that the number on the cards dictate how powerful the character is in Magic the Gathering. And again, the only way class is important is if your card is described or foretold to be a certain class of card. Now again, since this is a part of Dungeons and Dragons, we can easily use the cosmology to scale it. But with that being said, this means that Ghalta is one of the strongest creatures of the material planes, which is actually important. Keep in mind, elder dragons would scale above the adult dragons, because again, it's a much older dragon here. So with the Dragon Queen and Atarka, you know, both of them being basically elder dragons themselves here, they would scale above infinite dimensional planes and even higher pocket dimensions or higher spaces that pretty much transcend the concepts of space-time and even dimensions here. And this also puts him above the likes of Tarrasque. Now, I know I called him Terrasque for a long time, but I feel so bad. But again, Tarrasque himself is above the likes of any other creature other than the dragons, when they're adults and when they're elders. Tarrasque, this means Tarrasque is above the likes of Leviathan, who is confirmed in his lore to have fought every single pantheon of gods all at once. So, Greek, Norse, and Egyptian, all these pantheons exist within Dungeons and Dragons. So basically, he looked at the entire roster that Kratos had to go through with a few weapons and literally said, nah, I'm all I need here. And you know the irony of it is, they didn't beat him. They put him back to sleep. Yeah, so they were losing so badly, they had to cast a spell just to make him go back to sleep. I would feel ashamed, I'm not going to lie here. And again, funny back enough, we have to track this back all the way to the Green Tyrannosaur. Yeah. So keep in mind, Ghalta really doesn't have any hacks and abilities. He's just super strong, super durable. But considering his class, he would definitely have a healing factor. Yeah, that's how it is. A large majority of the creatures in Dungeons and Dragons have healing factors, especially those of like higher classes here. So even like the King of Feathers from D&D has like a semi healing factor. So with that being said here, this means Gahalt would scale above beings who could destroy concepts and beings that embody concepts, and also realms that embody certain concepts, like Hades when he took over the Gray Realm, which had the concepts of entropy and despair. And again, Gutholt would look at this dude, let him hit him with everything he's got, no diddy, and pretty much just speed blitz and then eat him. Keep in mind, yes, this puts Gahalt at faster than light to immeasurable levels of speed. I mean, I think that should be kind of obvious here. So, this T-Rex, with literally barely anything but a healing factor, is faster than light and casually universal. Just because of the rank of his card and how the rules of the game work, right? Right? Yeah, so... oh my god. I ain't gonna lie, doing the research for this, I swear this was absolutely ridiculous. Dude is stronger, would be considered the strongest creature on the material plane. Like it's absolutely hilarious how that honestly would work entirely. And funny enough, right? I didn't expect this from Gahalt here. Keep in mind, I didn't expect him to really scale this high here. But with that being said here, let's talk about his competition, Grymloq. Now, Grymloq himself is a Carnosaur. That's kind of obvious, right? They might say legendary. Come on now, it's a Carnosaur. It shouldn't be that strong, right? Well, believe it or not, Grymloq is actually considered a mutation among his species. Excuse me. Grymloq himself is basically bigger, stronger, and faster than any other Carnosaur, and is capable of one-shotting its own brethren. Which, by the way, you know, if you guys saw, I kind of compared them to Devil Joe, and you know they're basically Elder Dragon tier if you put them in Monster Hunter, but again with their own line of scaling, right? They would actually scale to Bloodthirsters because they were able to literally rip and tear. A single Carnosaur can devour and tear through an entire army of Bloodthirsters, and they can even best mages as well. Yes, they can best mages and dragons, who are all powerful entities. Keep in mind, the Carnosaur species drove the dragons of Lustria to extinction by simply being stronger, faster, and tougher than they were. And yet these guys are still magical beings capable of killing Bloodthirsters. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But keep in mind, Bloodthirsters themselves are actually capable of traversing and even being able to enter the likes of the Warp. The Warp being a realm that is beyond the concepts of physicals, even the concepts of time, space, and dimensions, and literally has no geographical or physical way to navigate it. So you literally have to be powerful enough to traverse this environment. And keep in mind, this isn't, you know, some type of overpowered character. These are like casual fodder. And yet the Carnosaurs are considered obviously stronger than the fodder. And Grymloq is 10 times stronger than the average Carnosaur. Now, keep in mind, he does have his own feats, especially when he's comparable to Krotgar, being able to handle mystical, you know, dark mages and stuff like that, and being able to handle multiple beasts that have threatened the likes of Zol. So, yeah. In terms of speed, you would obviously be faster and light to immeasurable levels of speed as well. I mean, being able to keep up with beings that can traverse the warp as well. And keep in mind, this puts him above a large majority of the creatures that would have literally dominated or been considered far above his own species. Like, he would be able to beat the likes of Dread Saurians quite casually, or at least with some moderate difficulty, But again, not too much to where he's, oh, I'm struggling so bad, I can't do it. Keep in mind, Dread Saurians were known as like the I'd probably say like the heavy weapons of the Saurian army. By the way, I will be doing Saurians versus comic Wakanda. So yeah, get ready for that. That's actually going to be a very fun one in my opinion. But with that being said here, the Carnosaur or Grymloq here is simply fast and light to immeasurable with rage boosts and blood frenzies. So with that being said, yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. This matchup here is a lot closer than I originally expected. I'm not even gonna hold y'all here really. I actually thought that Gahalt would stump, but again, as I kind of looked at the Warhammer verse again, obviously, I realized that yeah, these guys are just massively more powerful. Even the basic creatures here are just absolutely powerful, and I literally thought mainly the gods kind of got to that level, right? But then again, having to redo my own research and stuff like that actually does help a great deal, right? But with that being said here, I don't really see Gahalt losing. Now, again, the reason why this fight is close is because, again, they do kind of match the same tier. However, the problem here is that we have one thing over the other. I would definitely say that the Carnosaur has greater physical amplifications, mind you, because, again, he is pretty much able to basically go into like this rage-like state and just increases overall physical strength. However, at the end of the day, Gahalt is just as strong as him and can regenerate. Might not be to the same extent as something like Tarask, which can regenerate his whole body, but he's still able to regenerate damaged organs, missing limbs, and stuff like that because of the, well, rank that he's in. He would actually have to have that. Same thing with all the dragons and stuff there. But if he's more powerful than the dragons and even the likes of gods and, well, elder dragons as well, based on his physicals alone, I feel like that says a lot about how, I guess you could say, dangerous and powerful he is. But overall, while this fight is closer than I even expected, Gahalt definitely takes this more often than not. But that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe, and share it with your friends. And yeah, Gahalt's taking this win, you guys. Peace.